Welcome to the Senior Rehab Podcast,
the podcast for rehab clinicians that want to better serve older adults.
And now, your host, Dustin Jones.
Short. Hello, friends. Thank you for your download, and welcome to another installment of the Senior Rehab Shorts. Before we get into this, I do want to mention on May 10th, 2016, I will be doing a webinar. This is with Ohio Physical Therapy Association. We're going to be talking about old is not equal to weak, bridging the gap between fitness and geriatrics. This is going to be from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 10th, 2016. And we're basically just going to take some of the methods that are very effective in the fitness realm and athletic realm and apply that to the geriatric population, whether it's programming, different tools you can use, modifications to make it safe for older adults, but how we can take those and use with our patients. So whether you're a home health PT, outpatient ortho, acute care, SNF, rehab hospital, whatever the setting is, these principles, could be beneficial for you. So if you're interested in this, I encourage you to look at the link in the show notes for this episode, or you can Google OPTA, Bridging the Gap Between Fitness and Geriatrics, and a link should pop up. Today's article comes from Ryan Smith. He's a physical therapist in Columbus, Ohio, and he attended Greg Lehman's course. It was at Entropy Physiotherapy. This was in March of 2016. And he had kind of a summary post after that called "Why Are We So Scared of Simplicity?" And this was published on his website, youmovephysiotherapy.com. Links will be in the show notes. We as a profession have this habit of making our treatments complex and attempt to make our patients simple, when in reality our treatment should be simple and our patients complex. Not complicated, complex. We form this disconnect between the simplicity of what we are doing and the complexity of the human in front of us. I'll leave you with that initial thought as I go into an amazing experience I had attending Greg Lehman's talk on reconciling biomechanics with pain science at the one-of-a-kind Entropy Physiotherapy and Wellness. A much better and more detailed account of the course can be found here by Andrew Rothschild. Greg's course can best be described as an enlightenment. Don't tell him I said that. As much as I strive not to be dominated by bias towards a certain philosophy or technique, I am, all the while lose sight of what our true skill set really is and what we are known for as a profession, or at least what we think we are known for. We work well with people, we listen to their problems, we offer guidance to possible solutions with movement as a large centerpiece. We then are able to load them appropriately, and as Greg put so well, we are perfect practitioners for helping people reconceptualize their pain. However, somewhere in this beautiful idea of evidence-based practice, we managed to lose sight of what was staring us right in the face, literally, our patient. The incessant conversation of this technique versus that technique, getting ripped apart that you follow that system or another system, is utterly pointless when between all the bickering, once again, forgets of the relationship with the patient in front of us. This course confirmed where I wanted to be headed in terms of my clinical reasoning skills and my ability to have a conversation with the patient in front of me. The course certainly had its fair share of poking at certain techniques and treatments, but not necessarily because of what they were doing, but more so because of the why the practitioner was using to explain it to the patient. We can, and Greg so elegantly displayed in his course, can come to this conclusion for a few reasons. The research on biomechanics often contradicts biomechanics. We are definitely having some effect with hands-on treatment, but far from any biomechanical explanation that is currently out there. Even Bialowski et al. Go on to describe much of the neurophysiological effects is still a conglomeration of what we think may be happening. All philosophies and treatments can be broken down into containing similar themes. Dysfunctional movement does not always lead to pain. The scapular dyskinesia conversation is probably the biggest culprit in this. So where does this leave us? Why? Ryan, for crying out loud, give me an answer. We know that listening to someone is a good start. Finding out their goals and utilizing movements that are important to them are absolutely required. Pain is coupled with other neurotags. Quite often that happens to be movement and thus needs to be uncoupled through movement variability, novel inputs, and the proper introduction of load based on the sensitivity of the tissue and or patient. Wait, is it that simple? Absolutely not. Every patient in front of you is unique with their own beliefs, own anatomy, and own problems that they are coming to you for. No single treatment is going to define how best to guide them through their problems, but explanations that don't scare them out of movement and reinforce self-efficacy give a beautiful, simplistic base to have that initial conversation. So please, can we as a profession stop scaring people out of movement because they believe they need to be quote unquote fixed? I understand it was meant for us to be able to give an explanation to the patient for them, then to understand their pain and how to move on, but our own understanding of that process is evolving. Understand? In essence, the literature is evolving our concept of this process. Let's begin to utilize it in a way that empowers patients more, both through education and movement. Thanks for reading, and if you get a chance to attend, see Greg's course in person. It's an amazing experience. Thanks, Ryan. Hit me. Thank you for listening to the Senior Rehab Podcast. The show notes for this episode and much, much more can be found at seniorrehabproject.com. If you found value in this conversation, please share this with one other person that could benefit. And until next time, do not forget to stay funky.